Hi, I'm Stacy Horner, and this is your online hybrid orientation. So I often get the question, what is a hybrid class? A hybrid class is 1/3 in seat, 1/3 self-study, and 1/3 online, where you're posting discussion questions in your homework and discussing with fellow students in class. Another question I often get from students is, or perhaps a misconception of students is a hybrid class easier? The fast answer to this is no, it is not easier. Often it's a lot harder than an in-seat class because students have to be more self-motivated and self-disciplined to get the work done. And they have to be studying in the meanwhile. So you control the time, whether it be you sitting at home in your fuzzy bunny slippers doing your homework at midnight or 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, or perhaps you're early riser and you're getting up at 4 or 5 to do your homework. It's on your time, not during our time, that you're getting all of your work done, but you have to figure out a time that works best for you. I often get the question, what kind of computer do I need to have in order to do a hybrid class? My answer always is, a typical computer with the Microsoft Office suite on it will work fine. However, internet access is really the most important piece. So as long as you have a computer or a place that you can get online 3 to 4 times a week, you're going to be just fine and have internet access available to you pretty easily. The college is always your backup plan, so you can always come to the college, access the TLCs or our open computer labs. Just be familiar with when and where those are located. The last piece is the technology. Technology cannot be an excuse while you're in a hybrid class. So if your computer crashes at home, you're going to need to make sure that you have that backup plan available. Again, we've given you a backup plan with SMC, but in case it's on the weekends or time the SMC isn't open, you do need another place that you can go to have internet accessibility. So check with friends and family or relatives and find out if you can maybe use them as a backup on the weekends if you can't get on campus. Netiquette is online etiquette. So when you're online and doing your postings, you need to make sure you're doing it in a professional way. Some tips for this is to make sure you're using good punctuation and capitalization and spelling when you're typing your online post. Other students and perhaps your instructor won't understand what you're saying if you just type a big paragraph like you might send a text message. So be sure you're doing it in a professional manner. You also don't want to use any slang or abbreviations. Sometimes people don't understand what you're talking about, and your message may be miscommunicated to the class if you're doing this. Don't attack others. A good rule of thumb is if you can't say it to someone's face, don't type it online. So be sure you're not doing that either. And the last tip on this is to make sure that if you're typing something in all capital letters, people are going to think that you're shouting at them. So if that's what you intend to do, make sure that's what you intend to do before you do that. What makes a successful hybrid student? As someone who's taught a lot of hybrid classes and taken hybrid classes, I think I have some good experiences to share with you. And the first one is don't get behind. If you get behind, it's really difficult to get caught back up because usually the instructor's covering 1 or 2 chapters per week, and if you get behind even 1 chapter, before you know it, you'll be 5 behind. Get online as often as you can. Even if you don't have a lot of time to post and comment on other people's posts, get online to see what's going on in the class so that when you do have some extra time, you can have been thinking about what the discussion that's going on in class online. Use all of the resources available to you. Your instructor is going to be posting things on Moodle, and those are great resources. Your textbooks have great resources. Because you're going to be doing this a lot on your own, you need to figure out what resources work best for you and use them throughout the class time. Do your homework. Sometimes college classes don't give you points necessarily for doing your homework, but homework reinforces the theories that you're learning in the textbook. So by doing the homework, what you're doing is reinforcing those, and it'll make it easier on the test for you. Another thing I can highly encourage you to do is to attend your in-seat classes. Your in-seat classes are going to be where your instructor and your fellow classmates really get to know one another. You also will find out about projects, and typically your instructor is going to be covering, although briefly, a few chapters in one evening. So it's a great place to ask questions, understand what's coming up, and also just get to know fellow students. Another tip is to look at each chapter. At the beginning of each chapter, there's a list of outcomes for the chapter. So review those, read the chapter, and then go back and review them again. Find out, did I understand what I just read? This is a great way to kind of outline the chapter as well as really get to know the concepts. The syllabus. The syllabus is going to be your class Bible. This is when all the assignments are due. This is going to tell you what's coming up, your projects, what maybe a rubric is going to be used to grade you on that project. So I recommend reviewing it and constantly watching Moodle and your email, your SMC Wired. Those are both requirements if you're in an online class. Your instructor typically is going to post the same information or give you the same information in 3 different ways, 2 or 3 different ways. One is going to be on the syllabus, one is going to be on Moodle, and a third way may be through an email message. So be sure you're watching all 3 of those things. Talk to your instructor. If you are struggling, please be in communication with your instructor. If you're doing okay, communicate that to your instructor as well. They do want to hear from you. Even though you're not seeing them every week, they do want to hear from you. So be sure you're in communication with them. The last tip I can give you about being a successful student is really 2 rules of thumb. First of all, when and where are the tests taken? How are they taken? Some of your tests will be taken online and some of them will be taken through the testing center on campus, and those have their own rules and regulations and hours of operation. So know and understand those. The other thing I can recommend is knowing what a week encompasses for a hybrid class. Some hybrid classes, a week is between or Monday morning and Sunday night. Other hybrid classes may begin on Wednesday morning and go till Tuesday night at midnight. So make sure you understand when assignments are due for your hybrid class, for whatever class you're in. So at the end of this video, you're probably sitting there asking yourself, what do I do today? The first thing is, I want you to make sure you're going on to SMC Wired, check your email, get into Moodle. Obviously, if you found this video, you're probably in Moodle, but make sure that you see how the class operates, look where assignments will be posted and things like that, so you can ask your instructor before midnight the day it's due. Check your email regularly. Check your Moodle site often. And the last thing is really go online and see. Most of the classes have an introduction for the first week of yourself. So that's where you introduce yourself to the rest of the class, and often that's your first week's homework point. So you want to make sure you go online and do those things. I hope you have a great semester and a great day.